Okay, it's July 20th, 2023, and I'm calling to order the Pixels and Dice Lions Club board meeting. So, if everybody would, let's just go ahead, speak up, and just give your name. We'll use that as a roll call. So, I'm currently the club president, and I'm Chris Snow.
I'm currently the club treasurer, and I'm Kathy Lefevre.
I'm Lindsay Andrews, and I'm currently the secretary and vice president.
Lindsay, text your brother and tell him where the wrappers are. Okay.
Okay.
Do it. Bye.
Compton.
Oh my gosh. All right. So for recording purposes, Garner Andrews, I am the guiding lion, which really is a club advisor role. So.
Jerry Vollinger, I'm a board member at large, I believe.
Yes, correct. You got it. Yep.
Bart, can you speak up?
Robin Wisniewski, and I'm also a board member.
Oh, thank you, Robin.
This is Bart Boyd. I am a tail twister.
All right, great.
Darn straight you are.
Okay, I don't currently have a, as mentioned earlier, I don't currently have an agenda that is in print form, but I do want to cover the old, for old business tonight. I do want to cover the new Discord creation and get some updates on where we are with establishing various accounts. For new business, we'll discuss the committees, and potentially pick out some folks that we want to try to head up some of those committees, and we'll let them pull in other people as needed to act on their committees, and then we'll adjourn. Other than that, we're going to follow the what I'm calling the simplified rules of order. So the next point on that is adoption of the agenda. So does everybody here think that that's fine for an agenda? Do they want to adopt that? Just let's hear yays.
Yay.
Hey.
Great.
Yay.
All right. And do we have any nays? All right. I don't hear any nays, so we'll proceed. All right. Reports of the officers. I currently don't have anything from a president position unique to report. Unfortunately, I did forget to put the post out there about the committee chair positions, which is something I had mentioned at the general meeting that I would do. So when we get around to new business, we'll touch on that and see what we want to do there. And that's all I currently have at this moment.
You're just going to go down the list and call on the next officers?
Sure. Lindsay, you've got two positions, so you're going to be next.
Yeah, specifically, I don't have anything exact to report. We're working on getting everything officialized with getting the EIN number, all that.
Okay,
working, obviously, the two of us are working on getting the Discord up and running. It should be most of the way there now. There was a tiny bit of a delay, and I apologize for that. I have just acquired a new job, so I'm trying to find an even footing right now.
Congratulations.
Getting into a rhythm. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm trying to get my feet underneath me a little bit, and it's been a little hectic with the Boyd boys in town because I don't get to see them very often. But other than the Discord and working on getting everything officialized, I don't think I have anything off the top of my head. Okay. Dad, is there something I'm forgetting?
The one thing I did want to put on record, since we are recording now, is that for for future recordings, for whether it be the well, it's primarily for the board meetings. You'll create a timestamp
Yes.
list of the discussion of the items at our board meeting, so that can be used as a form of minutes.
Yes, I will be doing that from now on. I have been I will be reviewing every past video at the very least of the board meetings and doing that for each one. It's just been a bit hectic.
Well,
So-
this is the second board meeting, so that's it's.
Oh, that's
You don't
right.
have a whole lot to
You're
do.
right, it is only the second. You see, that's how frazzled I am.
That's all right. That's all right.
My brother.
All right, let's hit Kathy next. Now, Kathy, Lindsay did mention that you guys are still working on the EIN number and such. I imagine that's a blocker on
Yes.
the
Yeah.
rest of the accounts that you're trying to get set up.
Yes. And I have already received one of the bills today. I did to my apartment for the member fees. So I do have that already. And we can go ahead and I've also been super busy lately, but I can go ahead and set up either like my personal venue or something to at least start getting funds in.
Yeah.
So.
So I think that that's a good idea. Just to start getting funds. Nobody who is uncomfortable with that needs to do that. So we can transfer them in other ways that we need to basically find out who's comfortable how, transferring money and
Yeah.
meaning, but the important piece of this, again, we can't state it enough, is we just have to keep very good records on exactly what comes in and where it comes in from, because everything that comes in from the public has to go back to the public. That's the most important piece of it. Okay. And I know we're not even talking about money coming from the public right now, but that's the piece that is so important.
Yep. Just as
And that's another thing I at least get started on, is starting the framework of how we're going to keep track of stuff and things like that. So we have that in place already.
good,
Yep.
good, because we will need a monthly report on money that's come in and the sources of the money, as well as how that money's been spent or allocated.
In our Lions Club, the way that we do it is it's actually just a spreadsheet. So that could be a Google sheet, or it could be a Excel spreadsheet, or whatever your choice is. But you have one sheet that would be the budget. Well, one sheet that would be for activities, which is the public stuff, and one that would be administrative, which is the self-paid stuff. And for each of those, you have budget, which, Chris, I think you and Kathy still need to work on, right? You haven't really.
No, we haven't touched on that at all. Correct.
So, and while we're talking about Kathy's stuff, I think that's one of them. But it's technically yours, not Kathy's. Kathy just needs to be the main person that then executes on your budget. But
Right.
the budget really is yours. Yep. And then, but each of those sheets has what is budgeted, and then what the actuals are. And so you kind of put those two numbers side by side, so people see, okay, how much did we budget for this, and how much did it really come out to be? So, okay.
Makes
That
sense.
sounds good.
Yep. And while we're on it again, just one quick thing is that we did say last time that and this is my fault, but we forgot about the fees for chartering the club. But we have enough Lions who are making donations to cover that cost as well. Okay. So we need to still collect enough other funds to cover the dues. But there's going to be some help there, but individual Lions have already stepped up enough so that as soon as you get the account set up, we will give them, your Venmo, and give them the whatever else we need to from our club. And they'll be able to send that money over. Okay. And by the way, I'm on copy on an email an email thread that I got reminded about, and it's basically the same thing that you got in the mail. It just has the charter fees and then the first half of the year's dues for international. Okay. So, and I'm going to forward that to you now that I've got your email too. So, okay. Thank you. I think that's all I had, Chris. So.
Sure. All right.
For
Robin?
bookkeeping, I can also recommend Ledger or if like H Ledger probably. They are very technical, but if you want to get into them, they are a markdown way of two-way bookkeeping, which is very functional and for bookkeeping specifically much more feature-rich compared to Excel spreadsheets. And it's all local, so you wouldn't have to use any.
I think it's a good idea. Like, I'm not dictating any of that. I'm just throwing out recommendations. So I like the idea. But why don't you and Kathy discuss that? And Kathy is a very tech savvy individual, but she is not a technologist like you and I are.
I've done some accounting and bookkeeping for other organizations, and I've used Google Sheets. That's my preferred thing usually, just because I know it so well. So that's probably what I'm going to go with, unless there's something that's super convenient, easy.
Then you don't want to use Ledger. You need to watch like I had to watch like I think like 2.5 hours of tutorials for my personal bookkeeping to get it down.
Okay.
There are some very simple spreadsheet things that can be used,
works.
and that's a lot of Lion clubs will use that. We're not going to have very intricate accounting to keep track of. It's pretty straightforward, so
and that assumes that we don't basically build a business around this that is needed in the future, because that certainly is a possibility, but that's not where we are now. So
yeah, Pixels and Dice Con. So
I mean,
let's go.
Right.
Anyway, Robin, did you have anything else?
I've reached out to my local Lions clubs. There's actually, just in my city, there's I think 10 of them, which is crazy. So I've reached out because they're hosting an event in August, like a big fundraising thing. And they have like a committee for that. And I've reached out to the treasurer of that committee. And they are meeting next Wednesday. And he told me he would, because I've told them, hey, it would be great if you can support us with some administrative funds, because we were talking about that in the last meeting. And he agreed to basically bring that up in their next meeting. So I'll probably hear back on that next week, hopefully.
Very nice. And so then in exchange, I will have to come and visit and help them out. So
I mean, that's going to be an expensive travel for you, but you can come here and visit.
It's been so long since I've been
part of the club, Garner.
Say again, Bart?
You're too important to the club to risking any kind of overseas travel. So I'll take on that one.
Oh, will you? Okay. Yeah. But seriously, Robin, I grew up for 3 or 4 years in Germany and have been back a number of times. But every opportunity I get to go to Europe, I like to jump on it. But I'm just joking about needing to do that. But I always am willing to help out whoever I can, however I can. So
I've definitely put interest forward with them to stay in touch, like as Lions clubs, and help each other out where we can.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Great. Let's see. Let's hear from our tail twister.
Sorry, I'm kind of literally under the weather here with the storms knocking out my computers, but
that's okay.
all I came up with for today was a trivia question. Would you rather be on the Nostromo or the Event Horizon?
Totally the Event Horizon. Totally.
Really?
I'm kind of leaning towards the Nostromo.
Question: either way, you die.
Yeah.
Either way, you die. It's true.
Yeah. I just figured that the Nostromo would be quick.
Yep. So for those who don't know, though, explain the difference.
Okay, the Nostromo is the original Alien movie ship, and the Event Horizon is the one where they were folding space and therefore went to a different reality, and it was kind of Lovecraftian. So yeah, I'd much rather go with the Alien, I think.
Yeah.
It's kind of straightforward.
You're right that it is more straightforward, but I just felt that like kind of some of the concepts of what happened with the Nostromo were, not the Nostromo, the Event Horizon were a lot more, I don't know, interesting to think about. And
Red Lovecraft. you can get on that ship. I'm not.
Yep.
So, Garner, before our next general meeting, I would love if you could get together with Bart at some point, and then maybe help him do a little prep.
Okay.
And I'll just say pick on a few people.
Well, I've told him a couple of dad jokes over the last couple of weeks here.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
It's all that free time. It's going to my head.
Yep. Well, I also entertained the hell out of. Well, no, that was not I. That was really, I guess it was a lot of it at Liam's expense and somebody else. But yeah, we actually ran an in-person game last night with all of the boys, and they laughed and they laughed and they laughed. So
that's great.
It was.
I think I'm going to be Bart from now on.
Yep.
All right. Did you have anything else, Bart?
Sorry.
That's all right. It's all good. I actually didn't expect you to have a report, so that's it's fine. Jerry, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Not tonight.
Okay, great. All right. In that case, we're going to go ahead and move forward into discussing our old business. Since we don't yet have committee reports. So for the old business, we had discussed setting up or getting the ball rolling on getting some committees set up. We had identified a beneficiaries committee, a committee that'll help to identify potential beneficiaries of the club's efforts. We had also talked about setting up a con committee so that we can potentially get some engagement with the various cons that a lot of our members like to enjoy. Also, an esports committee is something else that had been brought up, and I believe that he's not on right now. I believe that my son Christopher wanted to participate in that, so we might volunteer him for a position on that committee, and then see if we can get something else.
Yep.
But it seems like I'm forgetting a committee that we had talked about, and I wish I had it in front of me, but I don't.
The social it's the social, whatever the social committee was.
Yeah. Okay, so let's tackle these one at a time real quick and see if we can identify somebody that has expressed interest in the various committees. So the beneficiaries committee.
Gus. Yeah, Gus was definitely somebody that raised his hand for that.
All right, let's reach out to him. I can reach out to him and see if he's willing to take on the mantle of committee chair and putting together a committee for that.
I'm pretty sure that he is, but yeah, absolutely reach out to
him. For the con committee, anybody? Has anybody really
Obadiah.
I believe he said he wanted to be on the committee, but I also believe he said he didn't want to be the chair. But
yeah,
I think we said Jerry wants to be the chair. I don't think Jerry said that, but I think we said that.
Yeah.
I didn't say what.
I don't want to be the chair of our conventions committee.
You didn't say anything, Jerry. It's fine.
Just nod and smile.
Yeah, that's how I wound up as a board member.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly correct.
You see how it's going. It's only gonna get worse from here.
What are we looking for as far as what is that convention committee going to be doing? Can you give me some of the duties on that one and let me think that over?
Absolutely. So the way I understand it is this particular committee will be responsible for trying to establish relationships with existing conventions, and that, at least in my mind, that should be used for two purposes. One, helping to drive membership. So it would, this would be a position that would work close with the membership chair, as well as potentially partnering with some of the conventions to potentially have them be a source of revenue for the club to help bring in funds to fund our charitable efforts. And I mean, those are the two things that pop into my mind, and I'm sure others will chime
one
in
other
there.
thing is that I think that we as individuals go to a lot of these, and we need to make sure that we have a record of who's going where and when. I need to take a quick phone call, y'all, and I'll be right back.
Let me think that one over. I'm not opposed to taking that as a committee chair, but let me give that some thought.
The great thing about being a committee chair is you get to delegate to the people on your committee.
Yeah, for people who actually, decide they want to be on the committee. Yeah, no, I've been involved in other organizations. I know how committees work and have been involved in some of that. So I just want to make sure I've got the time to do that justice. I have a definite interest. I love conventions, and I love being involved with conventions. And
that's why we volunteered you.
Yep.
and I'm slowly getting some contacts that are involved with some of these things. So
that's great.
Let me think that over, and I'll get back with you, Chris.
All right, sure. While you're thinking it over, I'm almost positive that Obadiah will want to be on that committee. He's expressed that interest. So, you'll have a very energetic member that will be eager to reach out to a lot of these committees and try to help establish these relationships. So, I mean, that right there is a great boon to that committee. Yep. I think Obadiah is going to be an excellent asset there.
All right. like I said, let me give that some thought. I don't want to step up into something and then not be able to give it the effort that the club deserves. That's all.
Fair enough. So let's hit the beneficiaries committee. That was Gus. Never mind. Esports. So unless he doesn't, unless he objects to it, I would love for Christopher, my son, to potentially be on that committee. We need to find out if he wants to run with it or not. I would love for him to run with it. I think it would be a great experience for him. But I know there are a lot of other members that would be equally engaged in such a position. So.
I'm sure that Dylan isn't going to want to run it, but Lindsay, would Dylan serve on it?
Most likely. I might have to sweet talk him a little bit, but
yeah.
I'm interested. If I'm on it, I probably can rope him in because he's really, really experienced with esports and the world of it. That's how we met. So.
Well, my only concern is that you have a lot going on. So, I think it's definitely something that you could participate in as much as you could participate in it, right?
Yeah, so. that was why I'm not stepping up for anything more than just being a member who can be there when I can. So I'm not thinking anything more than that. But I know for sure Dylan will not run it, but he will likely engage.
Yep.
All right.
I can also help out with that.
That'd be fantastic.
I could actually run it.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to step up for that and then have Christopher and Dylan?
Well, let's ask Christopher first.
All right.
I am like, the issue with me is always I'm super lazy. But if I do things, I want to do them right, which means I can't be lazy. So I tend to not pick up responsibility whenever I can.
That's good.
I can definitely identify with that.
All right. And let's see. What did I skip? There was con, there was esports, there was social committee.
Shelly wanted a part in that. I think.
Yep.
I thought she wanted to be on beneficiary, or was it both?
It might have been both.
Yeah, it was both.
Is there anybody else that that might be good for the social committee? Now, this person will help guide the committee. The committee chair for this position will help guide the Discord, and I imagine help organize some of the maybe after meeting events and things like that we have to help bring a little bit of a cohesive social atmosphere to the club.
Mm-hmm. I've got a couple of people that I'm going to ask to join the club. It's a couple that I met at GaryCon. They live down in Florida. I mean, I know not much good comes from Florida, but
nothing good comes from Florida.
Nothing good comes from Florida.
Well, and that's a jab at Chris.
Right, that clearly internet means from Florida.
Yeah,
I am Florida man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is Kathy's dad. So
yeah, I was about to say that's another good person to insult.
Yep. So, but what I was going to say is, I know that Joy, the wife and mom, would be interested in the if she'll join us, she'd be interested in the what are we calling Gus's committee? The
beneficiaries.
Beneficiaries committee. So I know that she'd be interested in that, but I expect that she'd also be interested in the social committee. She and Chris, her husband, again, unfortunate name, but she and Chris both really like to be social and do cool things. So
anyway, so you're going to check on those?
Yep, I will. I'd already asked Chris about it, and he said that he thought that would be okay, but I haven't. He and I've been talking about Gary Con things, and so I've let this conversation slide. So I need to not let this conversation slide. But anyway, but yes, I will check on that within the next week for sure. Okay.
All right. Good.
I can definitely help out with Discord, but I don't want to be the chair of the committee for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Well, Chris, either you or Lindsay should take care of the Discord thing. I mean, be the lead, the committee chair for Discord implementation here. So
yeah,
I think we leave Discord separate from the main social, because realistically, you can be very, very social and run our social gatherings very effectively, but be completely inept at Discord.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree with that. That's like an ad hoc committee that the president has the authority to assign and fill and whatnot. So I'm just saying that it's something, though, from an organization standpoint, that you, Chris, and Robin should all participate in together. But between the three of you, you ought to easily be able to handle it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan. So, Lindsay, I know you've already got a couple things on your plate. Do you want to? I mean, since you're already doing most of the work there, do you want to be the chair for that and have Robin and I help flesh things out? Yeah, you're nodding head. Yes. Okay, that's
an enthusiastic yes if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
I have raw turkey all over my hands. I couldn't click my mute button.
Are you sure it's turkey? It's not
yes,
grease?
And I have multiple witnesses. No, nuisances is better.
Never mind.
But yeah, I will definitely handle that with you and Robin.
Notice I'm being very well behaved.
All right. That actually takes us. If nobody else has anything about to speak to about the committees, that'll take us into new business. So does it? Before we do that, I'm going to put a pause here just to see if anybody else has anything they'd like to add committee wise. All right. I think we're good there. Excellent. New business. I wanted to discuss the committee stuff, so there was a little bit of overlap there. I don't have any other new business that I personally wanted to bring to the board. Does anybody else have any new business that they'd like to bring before the board?
I don't know if it's necessarily new business, but maybe more of a request.
All right.
I know that we hang the minutes off the YouTube channel. Could we maybe pin that or put that in the PDLC announcements, a link to where those are, so that you could anybody coming into the club, new people coming into the club, as they come in, it's easy for them to find them?
Yes. And I'm glad you said that. What I'm thinking that we could do is just set up a channel that will automatically receive a post anytime there's a new video available. And of course those videos will be, it'll have the meeting title, so you'll know which ones are board. We could set up playlist and stuff like that. But whenever there's a new video posted, it can automatically just pop up in that channel.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I think we've been a little hesitant to do anything on here because we were setting up the other Discord, or not we, but Chris and Lindsay were setting up the other Discord, and we were planning to move over as soon as that gets ready.
Currently, the videos are being hosted on the Chaotic Good Gaming YouTube channel. I plan on continuing to post the videos there, but I would like for the club to, once we have some accounts set up, I would love for the club to have a Google account established so that we can create a channel there for the club, under the club's authority, that will be the official repository for the videos. So, I mean, that was just an aside related to what you were requesting. But yeah, I'll go ahead and post a link when I toss this video up, so that you'll have that.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other new business? All right. Before we adjourn, does anybody have anything else they would like to address to the board?
I had a question, which I don't, because it's like legal stuff. I don't know. We are some sort of like organization, right? Like I think we said 501c4 or something like that.
That's what we're
It's
going
a
to shoot for.
Yes.
Is there like a thing with donations and stuff for accepting material donations? Let's say it like that, because
Yeah.
I've been making a Fantasy Grounds module, and I think the IP holder is happy to give us like some copies of the PDFs, the digital asset bundle, and also the Fantasy Grounds modules and potentially other VTT modules as a donation or something like that. Do we need to make that like an official thing, or can I just grab some keys from them and hand them out?
You can grab keys from them, but we do need to finish the EIN application, and once we do that, then if we had to have a contract with somebody, we would be able to do that at that point when we have the official tax number. So, but no, it's fine for you just to get the keys.
All right.
That's not something that we have to control tightly or anything like that. As a 501c4, it's not a tax deductible organization. It is a charitable organization, and it's noted as a charitable organization, in the federal, code, but it's not one that we have to, control quite as tightly as we would if we're a 501c3. And both of those are obviously different types of, United States corporations. But the 501c3 has a lot more regulations on how you record everything that you do, especially from a monetary standpoint. So it is that's why I'm saying it is okay to do this in a little bit looser way for you just to be able to accept those and then hand them out as appropriate. Okay.
All right. Awesome.
Yep. And Lindsay, we do need we need the logo that we're going to use at some point, because we need to have some letterhead, so that we can write news and stuff like that.
I guess that was other news. I didn't even think about it. I did get some done, and I've had a lot of members in person tell me that they really like the D20s, the most recent one. I'll resend it. Hold on. I'm just gonna send it.
Do we have any sort of shared drive currently, or anything like that? Okay, because I might just create something at least temporarily until we have like an account, just so we have a place to put everything. And I'll just share a Google Drive link so we have somewhere to drop everything.
If you have a Gmail account, you can share a folder.
Exactly. Yeah.
For now, and then we'll move that into an official club account once we get that established.
Yep.
Lindsay, I like those.
Go ahead.
I would love to see the one on the left works great as it is. I think the one on the right, and I'm looking at smaller versions of this because I'm actually looking at my OBS preview window. The one thing that I would ask is that we get a version of that is a square logo.
Yes.
So it makes
I
it
plan to
easy
do
to
so.
scale, and will fit in it'll fit in like the Discord bubbles and YouTube avatar bubbles, things like that, and something that we can scale that doesn't that we don't lose everything on when we scale it down.
I was going to redo the text. Like I said, I haven't had time, but that seems to be the one that the majority of people have liked. I think Bart has voted for that one. My fiance has. I think Dad said he liked that one, as well as my sister, all members. But it was out there. I had good responses. Evo, I know you said you liked it, but maybe it was too much going on. The problem with oversimplifying is that it becomes boring and doesn't catch the eye.
Shrink down to a 32 by 32 image.
Yeah.
And then
I can do that for you.
I'm just saying, when you're creating logos, do that. If it can shrink down to 32 by 32, and if it's still recognizable, then you've got a good one. Yeah.
The point is, I might take out, so with how the dice are, it's one of those, I might just leave the pixelated lions for some simpler ones. I'm going to do a variety. I'm not done, but those are the main ones. I'm also sitting here trying to cook, so I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted.
No, that's okay. All right.
I was thinking maybe one big die in the background in front of in the back of the lion would
I
maybe
actually
do
played
better,
with
but
that.
that's like what everyone does, right?
Yeah, I played with that because I played with the idea of it being basically the 20, but you get to a point you're going to hit the same issue of it becomes the lion head that would be the 20 on a D20 becomes irrecognizable like really quickly, very quickly. So the dice makers hit the same issue where their logos scaled down become unrecognizable. So that was why I leaned away from that, because otherwise it looks clunky. But I can, like I said, I'm not done. Those are the main two we can use for right now. I liked it. I tested it out as a server logo, Chris, without the words. It looked really good. It looks good, I think. So like I said, I'm still doing a couple things here and there, but we're rolling with it. And I think that one's probably the one that I'm going to base most of the others on.
Okay. Well, it sounds good. All right. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add? If not, I say that we go ahead and call it a meeting.
Right.
All right. So I hereby adjourn the meeting of the Pixels and Dice Lions Club board.
Okay.